Welcome back to the Golden Whiskers Podcast. Gosh, sometimes when our cats have pain or they're sick, to make them feel better, a lot of times we're giving them pills, we're poking at them, even picking them up, and that can stress a cat out. I know a lot of cats don't like that, gets them anxious. So in today's episode, we're going to be diving into a more gentle, a more stress-free way to support your cat's healing, and that's something called red light therapy. So whether your cat is dealing with joint pain, anxiety, or post-surgery recovery, it's a more simple, hands-off approach. It might just be the thing that you and your cat needs. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Paola Zanibelli Davies. She's a founder of the Holistic Cat Specialist. She's here to show us how hands-on care can actually start with hands-off healing. Now, she was part of our Feline Wellness Summit, but I'm going to give you a brief bio, and then I'm going to bring her in. So Dr. Paola is a doctor of psychology, trained in advanced feline behavior management, nutrition, and feline holistic care. She's certified by the American Association of Veterinary State Boards as a holistic pet health coach. And as I mentioned earlier, the founder of the Holistic Cat Specialist. She helps cat parents like you and me go beyond traditional vet care to support our cat's health at home using gentle, effective, and trauma-free techniques. Dr. Paola, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And because I'm out of breath from that intro, let you start by talking about probably your favorite topic, your four cats. So you have four cats, I know. Can you let us know their names? What kind of cats are they? How old? And then really who runs the house?
Yes, with pleasure. So I have four cats, and I have two boys and two girls. So Susanna and Peggy are the girls. Susanna is our lovely tuxedo. She is a wannabe princess. She only wears pink, and all my cats wear big bows on their collar, and so she wears only pink. And if we go outside to walk, she only wears her pink raincoat, and if it's raining, obviously.
I love
And
it.
so she's very delicate, and she's absolutely lovely. And we have then Peggy. Peggy is our tripod. She's very resilient. Her favorite hobby is to go out and roll in dirt. So she's completely different from her sister. She's not her actual sister, their adopted sister. So they just bonded, and they've been together since I rescued them. So and so she's a completely different cat. She's orange and white, and she's a very resilient girl. So that's very different from Susanna, as I said. And then we have Honey, Milk, and Honey.
Okay.
So Milk and Honey are bonded brothers. Well, they are actually again not actual brothers, but they
Okay.
bonded when they were very little. So they lick each other, and they allogroom, and they lie with each other, and they just they play with each other. They're very bonded, and they act like a pair of delinquents because they're very mischievous. So, Milk is very it's called Puff Puff because he can't purr, but he puffs instead. His mom never taught him to purr,
Oh
so
my
because he
God.
got separated very young.
Yeah.
And Honey is the brain of the mischief, and is always a step ahead. He's very food driven, is very clever, is orange. So it's the orange one. And the orange ones,
Yeah.
they're always very special.
So is Honey the boss of the house? Or maybe one of the girls. Maybe one of the girls.
Oh, I don't think there is a boss
Okay.
actually, but he is definitely the one that keeps me on my toes because I need to always have an eye on where he is and what he's doing. If I hear noises, it's him doing something that he shouldn't be doing. So
I love it. Sounds like a wonderful household. And I know before we started to record, I was telling you like how you were asking me about Nico and Milo, and just
yeah.
I've never known what it was like to have bonded cats, and I didn't even know what that meant until I got these two. That these are actual brothers, Nico and Milo. They're bonded, and they're just completely loving and special to each other and to me. But as you said, boys are getting into more mischief. than girl cats, and they just love getting into things, and they are so adventurous. But they're just the perfect cats for me. Just these bonded brothers. So I love hearing about yours. So thank you for sharing. Just to kind of kick things off, Paola. I know you talk a lot about trauma-free care and the importance of respecting a cat's boundaries. So, what are some gentle, hands off ways that cat parents can start supporting their cat's healing, especially if their cat doesn't tolerate being handled?
Yes, so that's a great question because what I teach is basically hands-on cat care. So it's all the things that you do with your cat that are about being actively involved in your cat's well-being. So it means gently stretching that comfort zone, so your cat's comfort zone, so that not in a forceful way, of course, but with care and intention, so that you can give them the supplements and the remedies and the treatment that they need without fear or stress. And you can do it in a way that you can, your cat can handle um, things without fear and stress, etc. And there is always a reward at the end, and also a sense of safety. And ideally, it's a bit of a give and take process. So this is either called cooperative care or assisted care, depending on how much time you have to train your cat to do it uh, in a nice way, or if you just get in a situation where you now have to supplement your cat and you have no time to train, but you still need to do it gently and with care. So in the meantime, while you try to get basically to get good at this process, some people need to start from a hands-off perspective. So they need to start trying to support their cat and heal their cat with other therapies and other ways. So this is one of my favorite topics because it shifts the way we think about cat care. And so many cat guardians, they feel stuck when they can't their cat won't basically let them do hands-on treatments initially, at least like massage or acupressure, or even the simple supplementing and even grooming sometimes. So I totally understand it because it can feel like they are failing, but actually they want to help, and it's a process of learning. So in the meantime, while they are learning, then they can use these hands-off therapies, and there are several hands-off therapies, and like there are many.
Mhm.
There are a few that I like more than others, and I'm more familiar with than others. And they are um, good because it's a good starting point for people to start giving support to their cat without having to actively pick them up immediately and supplementing them immediately. If there isn't an urgency due to a condition that needs to be addressed immediately, then you have that bit of time where you can use these hands-off therapies, and also as a matter of complementing whatever you get to do after, as you become more proficient with your cat and you start to understand their body language better and you read them better, and then they learn also. It's a two-way learning process, so they learn what you are doing and they learn that they don't have to be scared, and in the meantime this will support you all along this journey. So that's a good way to start.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite hands off therapy treatments?
Okay, so there are several hands-off therapies, as I mentioned before, and that we can use with our cats. And for example, well, some involve self-selection, for example, and some involve a device that you can maybe use around your cat without any handling at all. So one of the most effective and really effortless tools that I recommend is the red light therapy. So especially in the form of a mat, especially they this red light therapy they come in different formats. So you can use it via having a little light that is it looks like a torch, and you can use it directly on a particular area, or there are different ways. There are several kinds of wraps that you can use, and I find the mat being very versatile with cats. So I have a particular brand in mind that we can talk about it later, but I know that their product really work and they are very effective. And again, it's completely hands off because literally you place it and you switch it on, and your cat usually loves to sit on it, and they get the healing and they get the therapy, and they usually enjoy it. So it's actually really versatile. It's really good for cats.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll talk a little bit in a few minutes about kind of a couple of the treatments that my cats went through. My previous cat, specifically Mia, when she had arthritis and some trouble walking. Can you talk a little bit more about kind of red light therapy, how it actually works, and then why is it such a great fit for cats, especially ones that might hate being handled or have trauma around vet care?
Sure. So sometimes things like this, they can sound like high tech solutions, but actually is very simple, and it's actually grounded in really good solid science. So the red light therapy, it's also called photobiomodulation, and it uses specific wavelengths of red and near infrared light, and usually around 660 to 850 nanometers, to stimulate healing at the cellular level. So what's actually happening is that the light energy penetrates the soft tissue, and it's absorbed by the mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of our cells, and our cells energy centers. And this improves cell metabolism and reduces inflammation, and also it encourages the tissue repair, regeneration, pain relief, and the circulation in general. So this isn't just a theory or a woo-woo concept, because initially I thought, at first when I got in touch with this, I was thinking, when I heard of this for the first time, I was thinking, you heal with light? How does that work? Is this one of those woo-woo sort of concept? But actually, it is not just theoretical. There are studies in both humans and also veterinary medicine that show that there are measurable improvements, actually, in wound healing and arthritis, muscle recovery, and also in neurological conditions. So, for example, there was a study in 2016 that showed that red light therapy helped reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in treated tissues. So, this is something that we can bring into the picture. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to do anything to your cat at all. And if you use a mat, for example, as I mentioned before, the mat does the work. You can place it there. It's a completely passive experience, and you place it there. You place it somewhere where your cat already loves to sit or go or lie or rest, like their bed or a favorite window perch, or maybe the couch, or even your own bed, or even a crate. If they are recovering from surgery and they are in a crate for a while, you can place it in the crate. And a lot of cats are naturally drawn to these mats because they produce a gentle warmth, and the subtle frequency of the light really attracts them. And apparently is also good for the eyes if it's a good quality. You have to go for a good quality mat. People don't know what they're doing, and they produce these things, and they produce them properly. So these can choose, your I mean, these brands, obviously you can choose several things, but these brands that are well, the brand that I prefer is Photonic Health. They are fantastic, and um, your cat can choose to nap or go near the mat. You don't even have to put it under your cat. As long as you put it near your cat, you can cover it lightly with something that your cat really likes, to start that relationship with the mat that is built on good associations, for example, positive association. And then slowly you'll take that fabric away, and your cat will receive it even more light and more therapy. So yeah, they receive the healing benefits without ever knowing that actually they're being treated.
Mm.
And this red and near infrared light, they can penetrate several centimeters into soft tissue. So even if your cat is lying next to it, it will still work, and they're still benefiting from this. And you can even use it when you are during cuddle time, and
Yeah.
maybe they are cuddling on your lap, and you can use it then. So it's very, very adaptable, and also it respects your cat comfort completely, because it's all their choice, and it's all very, very gentle and very passive. So
Mhm. Yeah, I love the sound of it. Do you know, have any studies shown that it's improved things like joint mobility and arthritis?
yes, yes, actually, it wouldn't, I would say that it doesn't replace necessarily other modalities,
Mm.
like, for example, for joints and arthritis in particular. I have a beautiful arthritis and joint health protocol inside my program, inside my membership. And it's really nice and comprehensive, and there are a few things that you can put together in a very easy to give solution, where this is very supportive to the joints. So I wouldn't say that you can go with this without ever worrying about anything else. If your cat suffers with pain, I would still try to look at this way to deliver these supplements. However, this is also something that you can use, because this is one of the conditions that I suggest in my practice to use this for. So it's arthritis and joint stiffness. I advise to use it for chronic inflammation, definitely from recovery from surgery or injury, anxiety related situations, and early kidney or digestive discomfort like pancreatitis or IBD, and even skin issues, or when there are wounds that are very slow to heal. So it's one of the gentlest way to support the body's own healing, say, intelligence, without adding any stress. And then, of course, while you are doing this, you can learn to give your cat this particular protocols that are really, really supportive for joints and arthritis, for example.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so the reason I was asking, one of my previous cats, Mia, she had arthritis, and in her, last couple years, it got, it compromised her ability to have like full mobility. And so I would take her to my regular veterinarian, and she did some, I don't know if it was red light therapy. It may have been. It was some sort of laser treatment on her joints that I think was specifically to help her get moving a little bit better. And it worked for a time. And then her, like 6 months before she passed away, there was a time where her mobility got really compromised, where she was just like dragging her hind legs, and was almost like symptoms of a stroke, and possibly she
Mm.
did have that.
Wow.
And at its at its worst, when it initially happened, I had a holistic veterinarian come to my home and do some acupuncture, but
Mhm.
she also did some laser therapy as well. It was a little bit different. One was cold laser therapy, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure which was which, but the veterinarian that came to my home, she had like Mia, my cat, put on like goggles,
Right.
whereas the laser treatment at my normal vet, she didn't have to wear anything like that, but it was
Mhm.
more like, you're holding a device and you're kind of rubbing it around on her certain joints. But then I remember my regular vet did let me know about these certain mats that I could have purchased. I believe,
Mhm.
just like you're saying, I ended up not doing that, but I would take Mia in for regular kind of laser therapy visits. I did get just like a normal warming mat, and I'm telling you, Mia loved that warming mat. Her last year of her life,
Yes,
she slept on that all the time.
that's
So
mine.
I can imagine if it was a red light therapy mat, she would have gravitated towards it. Especially if it produced some warmth, she would have just loved the
Yes.
feeling of it.
Yes,
So,
and yes, and it's really interesting what you're saying because sometimes, I mean, with joints, they can the pain is such that cuts actually go downhill uh, faster, and just because the pain is there. So it's not necessarily the condition itself that is
mm,
worsening, but the pain is worsening, and this makes them feel less mobile, makes them feel worse because cats don't like to feel in pain. They need to be able to in the wild, they want to be able to go and hunt and be able to go away. They're prey and predator at the same time. So they they want to feel able to do these things. And when they feel down because their body is painful, they become more depressed and they tend to not move so much, obviously, because it's painful.
mm,
And this starts to is like a cascade of events, and it starts to cause other issues as well. So it is important to support them and to relieve that pain, because that in itself is a way to lift their spirit and to make them feel like a better quality of life,
mhm.
not only because they don't have pain, but also because they're feeling less depressed and more able to be themselves, really. So it's very, very important.
Yeah, the other reason I would have probably liked the mat at home is because I wouldn't have had to take Mia anywhere. She didn't like car rides. She didn't
Yes.
necessarily like going to the vet. So I felt like anytime I put her in the cars, especially at the end of her life, she's 19, 20 years old, a little bit traumatic for her. So
Yeah.
anything I think we could do to make a less traumatic experience for our cats even
Yes.
better.
I this You said something that really resonates with me, because by all means, sometimes we need veterinary care to support our cats in certain things, but we can also do so much at home. And I teach hands-on cat care exactly for this reason.
Mm,
And in this case, you buy yourself a mat and it will pay for itself with all the visits that you will avoid
yeah.
going back and forth, and the stress that you will go through. And also things that you can do at home. And I teach my cat parents, like when they need to do fluids and when they need to feed their cats, assist feed their cats, because they are in that particular moment of, say, for example, recovery, or not feeling like eating at that particular time because there's something going on, or other therapies that they can do at home, basically. And they will avoid going to the vet every single time just to monitor those things. And of course, we still need to go for blood tests, for diagnostics that are a little bit more complex, and we need, obviously, needles and particular things going
Mhm.
on. But there is so much we can do at home, and we can relieve our cats and ourselves from so much stress and
Yeah.
so much money that we spend just because we keep going back and forth. There are so many things we can monitor at home. And that's why I teach my cat parents hands-on cat care, because you can monitor your cat's urinary tract, you can monitor the kidney functions in so many ways at home. And then, of course, every few months you want to have a checkup. But yes, this is a way that you can keep an eye on your cat from
Yeah.
your own comfort of your own home. So yes, definitely.
When I found the holistic vet that did in-home visits for acupuncture, cold laser, I was so excited. I'm like, yes, this is great. I could just leave Mia on the sofa and somebody can come in and see her. This is awesome. Now, I know you mentioned a specific product you like. So, if we want to do red light therapy at home, you mentioned not all products are equal. What should we be looking for? And then if you could kind of reiterate the brand that you mentioned that you like, that would be great.
Sure. Yes. So there are, as I said, lots of red light therapy products, and obviously on the market, some come from China, some come. Sometimes you don't know what you're getting, and some are also not particularly calibrated for cats. And to be sure for size and adaptability and power output, and safety and everything else, and effectiveness, really, I recommend the red light mats and products from Photonic Health. They are the ones, basically one of the only companies I really trust about this, and they create animal specific red light products, and they are safe, effective. They're easy to use at home. They are trusted. This brand is particularly trusted in the veterinary rehab world. They also use clinically studied wavelengths, and their customer service is second to none. They even offer a lifetime guarantee. So if you have an issue with your mat, they will always exchange it if there is a problem. And they have been doing this for 20 years, and that's all they do. So I have been speaking with them several times, and I've been getting their courses to learn how to use the mat properly and how to use the other products properly. And because also they give the courses together with the products, so that the cat parent can also know how to use these things properly, and they get the education as well behind the product. So that's a service that is really complete. And so, yes, they've gathered so much expertise. I really like Photonic Health, and I trust this company. In fact, when I spoke to them, they gave me a discount
Mm.
option to offer your listeners. So I have a $25 discount option. They can use my name, Paola Zanibelli Davies, at the checkout, or the link that I can give you, a particular link that you can
Yeah.
use that contains already this discount. And yes, so any product that they are interested in, they can go to the website and have a look. So I'll give you the link to add down below
Yeah.
under
I'll
the
put it in the
video.
show notes. Yeah.
Yes,
Awesome. Thank
perfect.
you. A quick question I just thought of. Would you ever use like red light therapy as a preventative measure, or only when we're already trying to manage, some pain and some other illness or discomfort?
I wouldn't mind using it before,
Mm.
because it is very supportive. It enhances the mitochondria activity, so it boosts the mitochondria activity. So it's a way to make your cells work better. And so I wouldn't mind using it before. And also, one thing to say about this is that really, even all the hands-on therapies that I teach my cat parents are all good to start before a cat gets sick. Because when your cat is not sick and is not unwell, they are much more able to get trained and to be willing to participate in positive reinforcement, maybe with treats and with play. So if you do that before and you get them used to go and lie on the mat, even when it's switched off, then when you really need it, it's a no-brainer. Your cat will just continue do what they are doing. But if you start later, you obviously have to um, introduce something new in their routine. So it's even if you do it before, I would say it's definitely useful.
Yeah.
There is no risk with these things. It's very safe to
Yeah.
use. So
Yeah.
it's boosting their health from the inside out,
Yeah.
from the start.
It's so fascinating, like everything that's out there that probably most cat parents don't know about. I'm certainly learning as we go along with the listeners here. So thanks for shedding light on red light therapy. Now we'd like to wrap up with a fun question, that a segment I always call "What is in your cat's bowl?" So if you don't mind, Paola, what is in your cat's bowl? What are you feeding them?
Okay, so I have four cats, and as I said before, and they all have different different preferences and
Okay.
different schedules in a way. So
Sure.
yes, we have I have Susanna. Well, they eat 4 meals a day, first of all.
Okay.
So Susanna gets basically the wet food, and that I can give her is the home prepared, home cooked it's home prepared, lightly cooked food that she gets, and I prepare it for her. And I do this because Susanna came to me as a rescue with a really bad situation in her mouth. So her teeth were extracted, etc., etc. So
Mm.
she's not able to eat like the others, and she needs a particular diet for a number of reasons. So I cook for her, and she eats basically this. Apart from at night when I give her a little snack with some freeze-dried pellet that I crumble very, very small. And also I give her a little soup just in case she's hungry and she wants to have a snack during the night. But that's basically her diet. And then we have Peggy. She is on raw food at night and in the morning, and in the middle of the day, she will have the freeze-dried pellets. She likes to change, and yeah, she gets both of the choices depending on the time of the day. Milk is on wet food, high quality wet food, basically all day. Maybe in the evening, he will have a snack with the freeze dried pellets as well. And at night, is the only cat that doesn't have 4 meals. He has three because
Huh.
Milk sleeps in the same place as Honey. They have a room upstairs and they sleep in this room together. It's a beautiful room. They have a wheel where they can run, a cat wheel. They have the gym. They have all the shells. The boys are quite boisterous, so they need the space and to jump around, etc. And Honey, the orange one, Honey is hungry. Honey is he loves his food. So Honey will hack into the feeder. I have the feeders with the microchip reader so that Honey doesn't eat everybody's food. Otherwise, everybody would be hungry in this house apart from Honey eating everybody else's food. So I have this, and he still gets in the machine. I don't know how he managed to understand how, like, to. I would have not seen the way to get into this thing, but he does because he's very clever and he got in there. So at night, he is motivated. He's all alone. He's probably very tempted, obviously, and he's undisturbed because I can't go in there and stop him. So at night I can't feed Milk with the machine because Honey will have his meal. So
Okay.
poor Milk doesn't get his fourth meal of the day. He
Yeah.
gets a little bit more in the evening and in the morning, but and Honey is on raw food and high quality canned food. So high
Yeah.
quality wet food and raw food. So
Yeah. Quite a production there.
yes,
Yeah.
I garnish their food with the sprouts and with grass and with different things, and that they like to have. So I mix it up a little bit. They look like they go to the restaurant when the when the meals come out. They
Mhm.
look like with a little garnish on top. So
I
it's
love it. I
almost
love the
easy.
way you spoil those felines. Paola, this is such a great conversation. I love the message that hands-on care doesn't have to mean physical touch. We're just learning about creating a safe and supportive healing environment for our cats so they can feel safe and don't have that anxiety. So, love this message. Before we say our goodbyes, could you please let us know where we can learn more about you and your work, either your website, your memberships, your social media platforms, all that good stuff.
Sure. So I have a website called theholisticcatspecialist.com. And you can also find me on Facebook at The Holistic Cat Specialist. That's my page. And I have a YouTube channel with my name, which is YouTube at Paola Zanibelli Davies. And also, I have a free group actually on Facebook that is
Mm.
called Holistic Health for Cats. So that's also a place where people gather, and it's more for people to gather and talk with each other. And sometimes I pop in there and I answer some questions, and I am there to moderate and to welcome people and to assist them if they need any help. And if they need more support, of course, I'm available. I have my Holistic Cat Club, which is my lovely membership, which is a cozy little place where cat parents can come and get support to help their cats and support their cats' wellness and behavior and health. So this is the places where I am. I also have an Instagram account, but I'm not on Instagram a lot. But yes,
Mm.
if somebody sends me a message, they will find me on Instagram as well at the Holistic Cat Specialist, and I will respond. So
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll make sure to link up all the websites and social media sites into our show notes. Paola, this again was such a fascinating conversation. Thank you for the work that you're doing to make cats' lives better and us cats' parents' lives better. I know it could be traumatic when our cat doesn't feel well, and you're doing such a good job educating us on how to help our cats feel better in the most holistic and gentle way possible. So thank you for the work that you're doing and for being a guest here on the Golden Whiskers podcast.
well, thank you so much as well for the work that you do. You gather a lot of information on your beautiful channels, and it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Everybody watching or listening, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.